Primary bedding is what I consider bedding that's like year round or close to year round. You're bedding there all the time. Um, what I am learning through cameras and through observations and stuff, even those types of areas have peak periods of time that they bed there the most. But just thinking back to some of the primary bedding areas I've found, like where I shot the Rome Legend, that was a primary bedding area. I've probably shot, I don't know, 7, 8 deer bucks out of that bedding area. Um, the exact beds he came out of. Um, and when there's ever a good buck in that area, that'd be the first place I'd expect them to be. If they're in that general area. Now, if they move off for food or something, they might not be there. But what that looks like, a primary bedding area is usually a place that for some reason people just don't go into it. One reason or another, they don't go into that little section. And a primary bedding area is usually, I want to say, maybe from a quarter acre to an acre in size. Maybe an eighth of an acre to a quarter acre in size. But you might have like a quarter acre area that has 100 different beds in it, and maybe there's 30 of them in there that are real worn out. And some people mistake that for doe bedding because of the number of beds, but it's just that bucks are using it so often. And what they'll do is they'll shift around. So it might only be one buck in there at a time, maybe two if it's big enough. They'll get on either end and kind of use it like two bedding areas. But they'll actually get up, they'll shift from bed to bed based on the wind and stuff, or they'll get up and feed a little bit and move to another one. And I noticed that when I've observed deer for a couple of days in a row, it seems like the same timing. Like they go to one bed first, they move to another one at a certain time. It seems to have to do with probably air current shifts or the sun. I know they don't like the bedding in direct sun. So if you see a bush blocking it and there's a time period when the sun's hitting that bed, he's moving from that bed. And they do not like sitting in the blazing sun unless they have to. I've seen them bed in the sun, like in grass and stuff, but usually it's under pressure, like hunting pressure or something. But you know, those bedding areas aren't as easy to find as what you'd think. We find a few, but when you find one, as long as it's not being abused by somebody else, and you hunt it right, you can kill a good buck out of there every year. You can go back, every single year in the same time frame and shoot a buck off of that area. The reason people don't do that is because they get greedy. They go in there like 6 or 7 times in a year, and think they can get away with like, if you went in there, I'll wait a week or two. Maybe if I wait 2 weeks, your scent's still there from 2 weeks ago. So does deer know you were there? So that's primary bedding.